kid and the wife might be coming home in the middle of this, but I don't care. Part of the reason is because I just got an office and I've moved everything out of it, and we've turned my office into a playroom. And that is kind of what I wanted to talk about, is that people are finding new ways to restructure their current home and to kind of figure out, okay, how can we best use the space now, because these changes have taken place in 2020. And, and so for us, what we found is that we're going to use our dining room as kind of like a multifunctional dining room for the 4 or 5 times a year we use it. And then it's going to be homeschool, kind of like day learning stuff for the kiddo. And then my office became the playroom and maybe future Murphy bed kind of situation. So, we're changing stuff around, and then I'm getting outside of the house, getting into the office outside of the house. And so that way I can be more productive, because I'll tell you, working from home works. It's great. I can be involved, but the reality is that I'm not as effective as I could be, right? How many of you can actually relate to that? So, thank you so much for watching my hot drop. A lot of people have told me that, that even though, you may not necessarily interact, that you're seeing it and you appreciate these videos. So I'm going to keep doing them. And again, if you've got anything that you want me to specifically research, I'll be happy to kind of do a specific episode catered to you or your needs, or things that you'd like to see. I just want to give a quick shout out too, because I talked with a friend of mine yesterday. A whole situation happened with my car where the engine basically blew out, and thankfully, it's a new car. I mean, it's 2016, but and thankfully Hyundai was really, really great. And they basically, when I took it in, they were like, "Oh yeah, we know exactly what this is. It's been a problem on your model. Basically, you're going to probably need a new engine." So the guy came out. He's like, "Yep, you need a new engine. We're going to give you a rental car. We're going to take care of it, no cost." And I was like, "Sweet." And I just put new tires and new brakes on it, so it's going to be basically a brand new car. Anyways, all the way in saying that, I bumped into my buddy Josh Sealer yesterday, and he's one of the sales associates over at Gettle Hyundai of Lakewood, which is on State Road 64 over by Walmart. And he's a great guy. If you are looking for a Hyundai, go talk to him. He's a really, really great guy, and he'll genuinely take care of your needs. All right, so let's go ahead and hop on here, hop on. I'm going to share my screen here, and let's see. I don't like that view. There we go. So we're going to jump in here. So I have 5 properties like I like to show. I like to show a nice range. I'm going to stick under $1 million today. But the first one I want to show you is 421 Magellan Drive. It's in Sarasota. I'll show you exactly where here in just a moment. It's in an area called Bowleys Creek. I could be Bowles. Extra E. I grew up in Jacksonville. We had Bowles, the Bowles School, and you dropped the E and got Bowles. But it's a 4.5. It was built in 2017. Let me show you on the map exactly where it is. And the reason why I picked this house, I say this almost every time I do this, I don't like to pick the traditional cookie cutter homes. There's millions of these cookie cutter homes in the area. Okay, maybe not millions, but the reality is that I could show you cookie cutter homes, but that's not what I'm here for. It wouldn't be interesting. What I like about this area is that this area of Whitfield, this is just north of the airport. So there is kind of a disadvantage to being here, is that this is the pattern. So the planes typically fly in right here. They're either taking off or flying in. They're usually flying in. But this area of Bowleys Creek and Whitfield, this is a really great area. And you've got the golf course right here. I really, really like it. Now, for some of you who are very perceptive and you're, oh man, I forget the name, the personality type, not a minuendo or whatever. My wife's gonna be like, you can't remember what that was. But for those of you who saw, oh, maybe it didn't show back up. But either way, this area is called Trailer Estates, and yes, it is called Trailer Estates because it reflects its name, and it is kind of your dream, your snowbird's dream to come in here and kind of live in a trailer, because you're 15-20 minutes from Bradenton Beach, Cortez area. So that is something to keep in mind, is that does have this area kind of tied to that specific thing. So if you're going south, you're really close to Sarasota, you're close to the beach if you go west, and you're not too far from UTC and all that. All right, just show me the house, Chris. Jump on in. So this is it. It's right across the street from the golf course. So, you're going to have some privacy on the other side. It's a great home. I really like this. It's got a nice square pool One of the things that I say is that the square pool with triangular angles are going to be kind of more in right now than the circular avicular kidney shaped pools. And then it's on the water here, and the inside's completely redone. And this is what I like. I'm showing you this because you just won't find anything in this area of Bradenton, Sarasota that is like this, that has this kind of level of build and has that kind of view. So this is a rare one of a kind. And I like it because it has nice features like the vaulted ceilings. It has, that whiteness that is really popular right now on the floors. It's got the gloss. There's just different things that you're not going to find in a typical home today. And I really appreciate all of the different things that they put into this home to bring it in to this century and really bring it into this decade, in my opinion. It really is kind of like it's old meets new. This is an older area. It's got the upstairs deck. I believe that was an upstairs deck. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's see if it says. No, it doesn't say. So, but they've got bananas. That's pretty cool. Maybe there's a banana tree there that we didn't see. But it's got the dock. So for those of you who want to just kind of jump out and get out to the Intercoastal, this is going to be a great place for you to lay some roots. So, and then it's on the golf course there. So I thought that would be worth showing you. Price, I don't know if I said it was at $950. So definitely worth taking a look if that's something in your price range. I think it could be a great home for many, many, many decades to come, and everything's redone. So I'll go ahead and show you the next house. I'm kind of going just down in terms of price, so it'll get cheaper as we go. But I cannot wait for the day that I sell in Tidewater Preserve. Tidewater Preserve is by far my favorite neighborhood in the entire Bradenton, Sarasota area. And it actually falls on the Bradenton side. You'd think it'd be kind of like a Palmer Ranch or South Sarasota that I'd like. But the reality is that I really like this area of Bradenton. So this is 1253 Tyne, Tyne, Tyne Lane. It's a 3,460 square foot 4.4. It's priced at almost $700,000, just a little bit under. It is a new listing, and it'll probably go for pretty close to this price. One thing to note about this neighborhood is it is close to the Intercoastal, the Manatee River, and so it is going to require flood insurance. But one of the things that's cool about this particular neighborhood is it's actually been built up 6 feet. When they built this neighborhood, they built it in knowing that, okay, you're basically building it in a potential puddle. So they built it up 6 feet and raised that level so it decreases that chance. In a typical 100-year flood zone like this, it's not going to be something that you typically have, but it being a new development, you're going to have this. So to give you an idea of where you're at, this is 301 and 75, and then this is 64 and 75. This is Heritage Harbor right here, and Costco's right here. Everything revolves around Costco. But you enter by coming down here, and this is like Outback and Applebee's and all that over here. Carlton Arms is over here, and then you kind of zip back, and then you cross under the interstate. So it's very private. You're not kind of coming in over here by Walmart or anything like that. You want to go a little bit farther west. So it's very, very private, and that's what I like about it. Okay, so let me jump in. There are some significant HOA fees here that I should just mention. They're $360 a month, which is becoming more and more normal. But you get a boat ramp involved with this. You get cable. You get all of your lawn and everything taken care of. It's surprising how much it is included. So. And I love the design of these homes. Like they've got a little bit of a craftsman but coastal feel to it. Maybe not craftsman. Maybe I was shooting from the hip there, but it's really, really pretty. And one of the things that I love about this home in particular is the view. They've really taken advantage of having kind of like a large lot. And I think some of it, look, they put that view again, ... That's great. They're selling it just how I probably would. It does have gas. If you are one of the sticklers to gas, I have a wife who is anti-gas, since she was in a propane explosion in in Rwanda a couple of years ago, and so we don't really do gas in our home. But you know, everybody says it cooks better. I wouldn't know. I really wouldn't know. But back to the house, it's looking really great. I mean, it's got all the nice touches. I think it said it was built in 2017, so it's a new build. It's going to be nice, energy efficient. Ceilings. Let me rephrase that. Ceilings, sealant. Everything's going to be sealed nicely. I love it. I wonder if that's one of those little play on words that like the British or the Canadians would have versus us. It's got great ceilings. Well, they're pretty flat to me, and there's an attic right there. I'm not sure that's a great ceiling. No. The ceilings around the window, the ceilings are really nice. So, okay, there we go. So here is the upstairs deck, and boom, there it is. That's what I've been waiting for. So you have the runoff area here. So obviously that's going to be the Tide Water Preserve. Get it? It's raised 6 feet. It's preserving you from the okay, I'm just gonna stop. But there are no words necessary for, according to this agent that has listed this. That is the kind of like free-for-all boat dock there, and maybe I'm wrong. So maybe, yeah, it says that's the boat lift. So I don't know how that works. I'm not a boater, but if you have a boat, you can get it in the water. They've got different slips. I'm sure you can rent those out. It's just a beautiful neighborhood. So I had a client who ended up buying in that neighborhood, and they loved it. I'm looking forward to selling. If you know anybody who has a home in this neighborhood that might want to sell, please connect me with them, because I really, really love this neighborhood. It is also gated if you're into that thing. I don't know why I just clicked there. I'm not really into the gated thing. I grew up in a gated neighborhood. 2 gated neighborhoods, actually. And I hated it. I don't know. I had this thing about like, if you had to go out to the store a bunch of times and it's like, oh, there's Chris again. There's Chris again. And it's like, I don't know. I just didn't like it. Okay, so that whole thing about the prices going down, I lied. But this is a great home worth showing you. It's 3420 57th Street East in Bradenton in 34208. So it's 2,300 square feet, priced at $885. So you're like, man, what is a 3.3 at $885,000 in East Bradenton? What are you getting at that? Well, let me show you on the map exactly where this is. So this is on Morgan Johnson. So this is an area that is considered country, but it's in the city somewhat. So I really like this area. This is a high traffic area because it is your bypass to 75. So to get you back to Creekwood, that's 70, Chick-fil-A right there, the Caruso Road. I think there's like a racetrack right here now. And so there is some traffic flow that comes through here. But it's still a very country private area. I think they're actually redoing the road right now, if I'm not mistaken. Nonetheless, let me show it to you, because this is going to be kind of a preserved area. And this house is one of a kind. It is one of a kind. It's very zen, and it has a rental property on it. That's why I don't mind showing you something a little bit more pricey. That's kind of why I went back up on the price, because it was worth it. Look at like the ceiling. This is remodeled. It's going to take a very specific buyer. I doubt this is the kind of seller that would be interested in getting rid of some of the stuff and furniture wise. But there are some things in here that I think would be worth asking, like the beds, because they really fit the area and different things like that. But it's pretty cool. If you're I know my wife, if she's like watching this right now, she's like, oh, I hate that kitchen. I love the kitchen. I think it's cool, but she likes farmhouse traditional, and I like modern and contemporary. And, if it's got a little zen thing going on, then I'm okay with it, but look, you've got sconces hanging from the ceiling on the sides of the niceties. You don't typically see that kind of stuff without holes in the walls and different things going on. They did a nice remodel here, and I think it was worth putting on my hot drop. I think that's a pretty cool door. They could have not done that kind of detail. It's got the built-in closets, and which are always nice features to have, with great drawers and different things like that. The countertop on top of the washer and the dryer. One of the things that I haven't noticed yet, or hadn't said to you yet, is the view they really took advantage of the external windows in multiple spots. You've got your deck there, but let me get back downstairs and I'll show you more of what they had. So they took advantage. I might have already passed it, but there's sliders that look straight out at that pool. So that pool really directs your eyes out like that. And that's one of the things that I really like. Oh, so it's not a slider. It's actually just windows. But that's like your living room there. And it just goes straight out. It's pretty cool. And it's got a nice private outdoor shower. But then it's got the boat dock. And it's right there on the river. So that's something I'd really pay attention to. Again, you'll probably need flood insurance on this one. I mean, I don't know for a fact, but being that close to the water, you're going to want to. Okay, you're like, what happened? Are these the old? Is this the old house? This is the rental unit. This is the secondary unit that's next door. It's in great shape. I mean, it's a place that anybody would want to live. You've got a great outdoor space there. It's remodeled, Now you are kind of living on the property, but it is something that if you've got a mother-in-law or if it's something that you want to have some rental income with some friends, I mean, that's something that I would definitely look at. So this is the guest house with the oversized outdoor screen patio overlooking the Braden River. Look at those oaks. It is pretty off the road, so it would feel very private. It's saying it's built in 2015. I think that's when they probably remodeled it. I'm not sure if it was built then. Maybe they mowed down the old house. Maybe they didn't. I can find out more information if you would like me to. I would be happy to do that. All right, let's jump into number 4 here. 189, and we have 7606 Westmoreland Drive. This is going to be my favorite house that I show you today because I am a sucker for these 1926 homes built in Sarasota, and it is 2,682 square feet at $749,000. This is a historical home, so if you don't have the kind of cash to be able to do any kind of remodels or fixer-ups that have kind of a historical level of quality to them, I do not recommend you buying a home like this, but there is a 3.5% price decrease, and those are things that I like to see, especially in this market right now. Let's show you on the map. So again, this is the airport right here, and you do have a lot of, this is the pattern. So you have a lot of taking off and landing that are coming from this direction right here. And then your crosswind is going over this way. So you won't see too much happening that way. It'll be south enough to where it shouldn't bug you too much. But this is Talavast, so you just hop right in, make a left, and then there you go. It's going to be on or close to the river. I forget if it's actually on the river. Let's just find out. But just again, to kind of show you, if you're not too familiar with this area, this is US 41. It's just south of Bayshore Gardens. If you come down a little bit south, this is Sarasota here. You're 10 minutes away from it. Pretty cool place to live if you want to have access to both Bradenton, wow, and Sarasota. Look at that. You just don't see stuff like this anymore. Look at this. I think that is a guest house. I couldn't tell by the photos entirely, but it is something that should be noted. Look at the detail and the quality in this home. I think you would have called this a mansion back in 1920s. Did I say 6 or 4? The 1920s. For a 100-year-old home, I mean, it would be expected that you would have certain level of character to it. I think they've done a very nice job bringing the character into the 21st century, but also keeping the original character as well. One thing I did want to note is that it does have central air, something that you don't always find in a 100-year-old home. So, or I'll say a 95-year-old home. But look at those characteristics. There's only one room in here that I'd say that they definitely screwed up on, and you'll notice it the second that I show it. But look at those cabinets. I really like it. I love this home. This is something that I feel like Julia Child would be in, minus the appliances, but it kind of just reminds me of that kitchen. And okay, never mind. That was a dumb comment. I don't even know why I said that. So if you could get into my head for just a day, but look at the old features and like those chandeliers and different things. And it's got the fireplace in the bedroom there. Just things that you're not going to see. Is that, I guess it's a deck. That's pretty cool right there because that's an old window. So I don't know if they like turn that into a deck or what. You've got the nice remodeled bathroom there. I don't know about hardwood floors in the bathroom. That's a question for me. Yeah, I'm not really sure about. There it is. That's what you were waiting for. That's what you'd expect in a 1926 nice historical home. These people heavily screwed up. I don't care if it's a kid's bedroom. I don't care if that's what you like. You don't put that in a historical home. Anyways, so you do at least have a nice view. I'm guessing that, I don't know if that's your property. That might belong to the property just a little bit to the west and south there. But nonetheless, your view is of the river. And I can tell you, I've gone out down the street from there at Ringling, and I've sat out and just watched that river on the morning. On the morning of what? It doesn't matter. In the morning sometimes. And it's a very, very just grounding, calming view. This is a home that I would be honored to own a home like this. It would be an honor to be able to even improve it. And there it is, the Beasley House. And it is on the National Register of Historical Places, and then that's the road as well. So you get to really enjoy that river. It's not something that, if you're in that part of town, that you really get to see very often unless you go back to the residential areas. Pretty cool. Okay. Is this it? Yeah, okay. I leave out Bradenton a lot. And part of that is because it's in a weird price range right now because it's a little bit overpriced. But the reason I like this is because I feel like this would make a good rental income. If you are wanting to be semi-close to the beach, and you are like my buddy Jabo, who just loves West Bradenton. He thinks everything east of the interstate is plain and boring or whatever, but he loves West Bradenton. So if you love West Bradenton and you are looking for a rental property, this is something that you might want to look at, especially if you're a snowbird and you want to be here 6 months out of the year. It's a good spot. Okay, so 5604 2nd Avenue Drive West, and it is 1,400 square feet, 3-2, built in 1971. And let me show you on the map real quick because West Bradenton is a relative term. Okay, so if we kind of pop back out here, so this is at 59th Street West. There's a lot of activity, a lot of commercial going on right here. But when you go north, you get into kind of more of a private area. I like to say this area of 26th West and 43rd. Actually, I'll take it out to 51st. I kind of would avoid this area closer to Manatee Avenue West. I'd rather be back here, back on the river. This area I'm a little bit more open to because you're getting more into Palmasola, especially with the fact that it kind of Riverview Boulevard pulls around and then it pops back up into Manatee Avenue. But I mean, look how close you are to the bridges to get over to the beaches and all. This is a great area, and to get into downtown Bradenton, it wouldn't take any time. I say, I was having a conversation with another realtor the other day. I say that there needs to be a bridge that cuts right here and forks into the Sunshine Skyway somehow. I think that would cut down on a lot of that east to west traffic. Who knows? That's just a theory that I have. Who knows what this place is going to look like in 30 years. All right, so let me show you the house. It's a freshly painted exterior with new landscaping. Again, this is a 1,400 square foot 3-2, and they have nicely done it. They've brought it into the 21st century. I would maybe go for a paint job, but look at those Craftsman details over that slider. I'm doing that in my house currently right now, a different version of that. But I like wood details. I like different things, and that's something that they really took advantage of in this home. They cased in all the windows. I have a friend of mine who they just moved to Japan a couple years. I don't know, Matt. If you're watching this, tell me how many years it's been. I think a year and a half, 2 years. He moved to Japan. He pretty much had this house. It was a great layout. The difference is, I think their garage, they had been made a fourth bedroom, but they brought in some of the black features, which is where a lot of the things are going. And people ask on the black faucets. I've seen this asked a lot. Does it spot? And I mean, in Florida, you have hard water. It could, and you could definitely get calcium buildup around the spigot. So I don't like the spigot because you can kind of see the bottom of the filter, that where all the water's the spigot, but the little filter that's on there. So that could probably green up if you're not good about taking care of it. But in terms of hard water spots on the black, in ours, we've had it for about 3 months now, and I haven't noticed anything. I've actually been really happy. I've had nickel and chrome for years, and it's always left spots. I'm kind of a nerd. I'm always polishing with my towel that I use for my showers and stuff to stay on top of it. But it works really great. You've got the nice pergola out here. And it's right off the family room there. So it's got a great yard too. So if you are somebody who is a stickler to a pool, you can really take advantage of this area. Obviously, to kind of cut down on the mowing, they just kind of mulch this all down. Not a bad idea, to be honest. Keep the soil healthy. So I wonder if they did like a little garden out here at some point, or if they just planted something. But the thing with this kind of neighborhood is, you got no HOA, you got the parking pad, so you can do different things like that. You can have your own garden, different things. But what I would say is that your neighbors are hit and miss. So it's kind of road by road. So that's something you want to pay attention to. Nonetheless, the guts are good here. If you were to, nicely design this, tastefully design this, you could really rent this out for a significant amount of money, especially with it being how close it is to the beach, but not on the beach, paying those beach taxes. So let me hop back here. All right, well, I'm back. Thank you so much for watching this today. I really enjoy these hot drops, because it really gives you a perspective. I love giving in to other people's homes. I joke, when I was growing up, we had this real estate channel. It was like TRC, the real estate channel, and it was like you had 10 to 20 seconds of this reel of seeing what was on the market, and that's how you found out. Was you would go and they'd be like 3-2 in the in the Lakewood Ranch area, price tag, blah 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 blah. It was just a really really enjoyable thing to watch, and so I've been doing this my whole life. So I will see you next time, and thank you so much for watching.